What's up, dude? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So yesterday I know that I said I was going to do a more in-depth video on Jennifer Odom. However, I actually didn't really miss any facts in that case. Pretty much what I said is like the main important stuff to know about that case. So I really didn't miss anything. So I was at a loss as to like what I should post today. So I decided that I would take another little break from true crime videos and do a breakdown of Ariana Grande's dating history, because there is quite a lot going on about her in the news as of right now. So let's just jump into it. So when Ariana was 15 years old, she starred in Broadway. When Ariana was 15 years old, she was on Broadway in 13, the musical, and she started dating her co-star, Graham Phillips. He's been in The Little Prince, where he played the Little Prince at Lincoln Center, A Christmas Carol, the musical on Broadway, performed at Madison Square Garden, and then The Ten Commandments with Val Kilmer as well. So, I mean, he's pretty well known in, like, the theater community. Graham and Ariana wrote a song, Stick Around, together, and they dated from 2008 to 2011, so honestly a pretty long time. Then in August of 2012, Ariana began dating Jai Brooks. He was part of the YouTube comedy group The Janoskians from Melbourne, Australia, and her and Jai dated until October 2013. So from August 2012 to October 2013. So far she's had, like, honestly pretty long relationships. He accused Ariana of cheating on him with Nathan Sykes. Nathan is a singer most known for being in the boy band The Wanted. Jai tweeted about the situation saying, "Yes, I was cheated on. Yes, it does suck. Yes, I was left for another man." People were claiming that he threatened Ariana of retaliation if she chose to break up with him, and then she tweeted out saying, "Woke up this morning in complete and utter shock. I guess I shouldn't be so surprised. You said to me if I didn't come back to you, you'd make me look bad to the entire world. I'm no longer afraid of you or your lies anymore." They did get back together briefly in 2014, but then they broke up for good in August of that same year. But before that, like before they got back together in 2014, Ariana did date Nathan Sykes starting in August of 2013. They released Almost Is Never Enough from the soundtrack in the Mortal Instruments City of Bones. They, however, broke up in December of the very same year. A source close to them claimed that it was because of how they hardly ever saw each other, but then someone else said that they just weren't into it anymore. Sometimes we don't need reasons for why, like, celebs break up. I really do think that it should be a private thing, but let's be real, we're all super curious on why they break up because we don't know about their problems as much. So, I mean, I get it, like, I want to know too, but also I feel like, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody, you know? 3 years later, they did get back together just to work together on a new version of his song over and over again. They didn't date romantically, they just, like, purely worked together. Okay, so now for this next one, we're going to talk about Big Sean, but in order to understand his and Ariana's dating history, you need to understand his and Naya Rivera's. So those two began dating in 2013. They met on Twitter and began sending messages back and forth through the app. Like, she followed him, he followed her, and then she sent him a Twitter message saying, like, "Hey, I'm a really big fan," and it just kind of took off from there. They made their relationship official in the spring of that year, and then in October of the same year, they were engaged. However, in April the next year, so in 2014, Sean called off the engagement, but, like, she thought that they were still dating, like that they were still together, but there were rumors that he had cheated on her. In Naya's memoir, she claimed that she found out about their split from the internet. So, like, could you imagine finding out that you're no longer engaged to someone through the internet? Awful. She also said that while she was still dating Sean, he was hooking up with Ariana. So, okay, a little preface to this next quote. So she had he had like flown back into town and like had gone home and just said, like, texted her and said, hey, you know, super tired, I just like want to go home, don't really want to hang out yet tonight. But she was like, something's up, and she hadn't seen him for a while, so she had a key to his house because they were engaged at one point. So I mean, that's not weird, I don't think. So she says that I go to walk in, go downstairs, and guess what little girl is sitting cross-legged on the couch listening to music. It rhymes with Shmariana Shmonde. So that's how she found out that like they weren't even together, like dating anymore. So not only was their engagement called off, but so was like the entire relationship. So this is kind of when we start noticing like, okay, like she dated a guy that was with somebody else. Okay, she had cheated on one of her previous boyfriends, allegedly, like, we don't know that for sure. And then this happens, and it's like, okay, kind of weird, but whatever, no biggie. Ariana confirmed that the two were dating in October 2014. She called him one of the most amazing men in the whole world. And a source said, it's gotten serious very fast. They are much happier than in their previous relationships. But their relationship only lasted for 8 months. They broke up in April of 2015, and he is mentioned in Thank You Next, which is honestly one of the like very few songs of hers that I really enjoy. I think she's a great singer. I just don't love a lot of her songs. But I really like Thank You Next. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna get some heat for that. The summer of that same year, Ariana began dating one of her backup dancers, Ricky Alvarez, and they split up in 2016. Like, it was a super brief relationship. They never gave a reason for the split, and he was mentioned in Thank You Next as well. And like, he posted a video of himself listening to it. And then she had like a really cute comment saying something along the lines of, hey, I'm sorry you got the harshest like line, I just know I didn't mean it, like it was just for the song, you were great, or something like that. So it really sounds like they're totally fine now. They might not be best friends, but it's like at least they're being civil with each other. In 2016, Ariana and Mac Miller collaborated on the song The Way. So Mac and Ariana began dating like in the summer of 2016. They collaborated on some music, and then like a day after Ariana and Ricky broke up, then Ariana, Victoria Monet, and Mac all went to Disneyland like that next day. They all went together. And then like a week later, they went out with some other friends and were playing Pokemon Go. And then in August, Ariana and Mac were spotted kissing and going to a sushi restaurant. And so like that was all the confirmation the internet needed to know that they were having a romantic relationship and that they were together. I think for a lot of people, this is their favorite relationship that Ariana had with Mac. However, it did end in May of 2018. They broke up, and I guess it was because of his substance abuse issues. Like, she really wanted him to get clean, and she tried super hard to be like his rock and help him get clean and sober and live his best life. But after, you know, a while, I guess like it just got to be a lot, and I think she realized that he needed to help himself. She couldn't necessarily help him, and then they broke up for good. But it honestly, it doesn't sound like they stopped loving each other. I mean, they began dating other people and whatnot, but I really truly believe that they did still love each other. It was just, you know, his substance abuse just got to be too much, and honestly, who wouldn't get to be too much for? I mean, that's a huge thing to deal with. And on top of that, you're both incredibly famous. So I'm sure that she tried as hard as she could to get him clean and sober, but in the end, it just didn't work out. In an Instagram post, Ariana said, I respect and adore him endlessly, talking about Mac, and am grateful to have him in my life in any form at all times, regardless of how our relationship changes or what the universe holds for each of us. So at least neither one said anything snarky about the other. Like, I never heard them talk bad about each other. In July, Mac was on Beats 1, and he said, I was in love with somebody, we were together for 2 years, we worked through good times, bad times, stress, and everything else, and then it came to an end and we both moved on. And it's that simple. So yeah, honestly, it doesn't seem like any animosity between the two. And then in September of that same year, that is when Mac Miller passed away from a mixed drug overdose, unfortunately. In 2018, Ariana and Pete had also begun dating, but it was before Mac passed away. But before Ariana, Pete had been dating Cassie David for 2.5 years. Cassie said that Pete had broken up with her over text message, which is so gross. Don't do that to people. That's horrible. Cassie had tried... Oh, no. Skip one. So literally the next day after they broke up, Pete was publicly dating Ariana. So Cassie then tried to rekindle their romance a couple days later, but then she learned from Pete that he was the happiest he had ever been. Ariana and Pete started dating in May, and then they were engaged in June of the same year. So they were not married, they were dating and engaged all before Mac had passed away. But in October, they realized it happened too quick and too early, and they broke up. Okay, so I don't know how true this is, but I had heard that allegedly they broke up because Ariana found out that Pete had been texting Mac and sending him photos of him and Ariana, and that was why she broke up with him. I don't actually know. I don't know if anybody knows. Hold on, let me Google it real quick. Okay, so I guess Pete said he knew that their relationship was over when news broke that Mac had passed away, and Pete said, I was like, listen, I get it. Do whatever you've got to do. Because, Mac and Ariana, I think they were such a great couple, and they seemed so in love, and they didn't end on bad terms, so that would make his death, not that the death of an ex-loved one would be easy at all, but I just think that because there wasn't any sort of hard feelings or anything between the two, and Ariana still definitely loved him, in my personal opinion, I think that that's why it was super hard on her too. So I don't know which is true. I think we should take Pete's word for it, but I'd heard allegedly about the photos thing, so I don't fully know, but I'm just, it's a theory. Ariana then briefly dated Mikey Foster, but honestly, I don't even know if that's worth mentioning, because in February of 2020, Ariana began dating real estate agent Dalton Gomez. So they met when she hired him to help her find a house, literally right before COVID had hit. And then their relationship was confirmed in May of 2020. And then that same year, they were engaged in December. And everyone was really surprised by that. Honestly, they were surprised that she was dating somebody with such a normal seeming job, but allegedly that's what she really liked about him too. And he was very protective. He would do anything for her, very chivalrous. I know I just said that wrong, but that's what friends of the couple had said. Ariana is beyond excited, a source told us. She has really enjoyed getting to know and falling in love with Dalton out of the spotlight, something she didn't get to do in her past relationships. They're so in love and committed to spend the rest of their lives together. This was a really exciting time. Okay, so she goes from dating Mac Miller for 2 years, they break up, and then she dates Pete Davidson, they get engaged, but then break up, and then she dates this new guy for a few months, and then they're engaged. So it was kind of a, crazy line of events, I think, but hey, do what you gotta do. In May of 2021, the two were married in an intimate ceremony, and supposedly less than 20 people were even present. And the pair had been very private about their life. Dalton's Instagram is private. Last I checked when they got engaged, it was private. And Ariana didn't really post him a ton, and when she would, a lot of times you had to scroll through the photos in that post to find a photo of the two of them together, or just a photo of him. So they were really private, which honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I think a lot of people just assumed that they had a great relationship then. However, after 2 years, they separated. After 2 years, we found out that they separated, but back in December. And now she's supposedly dating that guy that played SpongeBob on Broadway, because they're in Wicked together. They're not dating, sorry, because of that. I worded that weird. They're both in Wicked, and they're dating. And he was also married and also split with his wife, and he had a kid that was not even 2. He had just turned 1. And so him and his wife were split, and Ariana and Dalton were split. So then news broke that the two were dating and that they were together, and then now we just found out that his wife filed for divorced because she had like no idea that he was seeing Ariana. She was completely blindsided by this. So that is what has kind of brought up Ariana's dating past, because she seems to date guys when they still have girlfriends, which is not cool. It's not cool on the men either. I mean, like, they definitely need to be held accountable, but it's like she just has a track record sort of now of dating guys that have just broken up with their girlfriends or like has cheated with these guys on their girlfriends. So I don't know, because I mean, like, okay, once, all right, like, you never know, there could be more to the situation. Twice, okay, that's a little sus. But like 3 times that we know of, girl. So anyways, and also Mac Miller had been dating like his high school sweetheart for like 7 years or something, and then him and Ariana got together, but I don't believe that there was any overlap with those two. As far as I know, there wasn't. But I'm sure that like someone out there knows way more about this topic than me. I just thought it would be interesting to do a brief rundown of it because I myself didn't understand it until like I started reading into it. And the only reason I was even remotely interested in her dating history was because people are bringing up her new relationship with SpongeBob. So that's why I was like, oh, let's look into it, and I'll give a brief rundown and help somebody else who wants to learn about her dating past, I guess. I don't know, maybe this is too niche, but I thought it was interesting. If you guys enjoy these celebrity videos, please be sure to comment down below and let me know. Also, fill in the gaps where I'm missing information. Like, please do, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people that would love to read more comments and like juice about her dating history, because I know that I missed some. So comment down below, but remember, be nice, because these are real people we're talking about, so don't be nasty or anything like that. But other than that, that's it for me today. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and come back on Monday where I will be doing a true crime video instead of a celebrity gossip video. Yeah, anyways, stay safe out there, you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Make sure to go outside and touch a little bit of grass, eat some dirt, and I will see you on Monday. Bye, guys.